Hello, and welcome back to the Fae Banner Review, where we talk about seasonal themes most people don't actually like. No, we're not reviewing the baby banner. Today, we have a brand new spring banner featuring a surprising assortment of unit choices. And an unsurprising lack of men, but that's every Fae banner to be quite H. And as per tradition, I will be using this coveted line graph that may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day to rank the brand new spring banner. Today's ranking will be based on how many rabbits are found in the banner trailer, and if you want more awesome, totally not me yapping into a microphone for 10 minutes videos, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. That wasn't a suggestion. Subscribe or I'll put you on the next spring banner.
Spring is
First up, we have Vale, and she's Vale but new. To her credit, it's not like Edelgard where it's the same gimmick and same movement type but better. Instead, it's the same gimmick but better. And on a horse. Let's see. Spring Vale comes with Gentle Fall Egg, which is a slang red tome that grants 5 visible HP and 6 visible attack and res, grants an additional amount of attack and res during combat based on her own res, true damage based on 20% of her res stat, a guaranteed follow-up, dual phase brave if she meets a res check, and at the start of either phase grants AoE damage reduction, resonance blades, and resonance shields to herself and allies. She also comes with Fell Majesty, which is so long. Oh my god. I'm going to fall into a coma attempting to get to the bottom of this skill. It disables adaptive damage, inflicts attack and res debuffs during combat, as well as granting 7 true damage reduction, breath, scowl on the foe's first attack, and scowl on the foe's follow-up attack if they are 2 ranged, as well as granting allies additional stats during combat, 7 true damage reduction, scowl on the foe's first attack, and follow-up attack if they are 2 ranged. Okay, I know it's not that bad in the grand scheme of things, but it's still so much text for a C slot, especially when compared to her weapon, which is so short in comparison. Honestly, I'm convinced you could put her weapon text box into her C slot like 3 times over and it would still fit. Let's find out, shall we? Hi guys, welcome back to the occasionally recurring segment that I never gave a name for, but definitely have done multiple times on this channel before, so let's call it, Pain. Today, we've tasked ourselves with comparing the text length between Spring Vale's weapon and C-Slot, and boy howdy do they differ greatly. But how greatly, you may be asking to yourself? I'm the only one who asked that, honestly. Well, today, we are going to find out. I have her C-Slot on the left and the weapon on the right. So we'll just keep stacking it until it doesn't fit anymore. Starting with number 1. Look at that. It fits right in super easily. No problem whatsoever. Now, if we try number 2. Okay, well, it doesn't fit, so there we go. See, that's number 2. In fact, we could probably move this a bit more over there. I think that's fine. Number 3. Can we fit 3 in? Alright, we put that there, but it's kind of being covered, so if we do that, look at that. That is 3 we could fit in. Can we fit a 4th, actually? That is the big question nobody asks, except me. I'm the only one asking stuff around here. And if we just do that, look at that. This can fit up to 4 of her weapons. Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. That should tell you how bad power creep is. And as you can see, the C slot, very large indeed. Very not gentle fell egg, but bigger than a gentle fell egg. Probably 4 gentle fell eggs. And as you can see, this is the result. It's no 6-paragraph behemoth yet, but it sure has a lot nonetheless. That's all for this week's segment of Pain. And now, back to the video. Take it away, Z. Thank you, Z. What was I even talking about before that? Right, Vale. She seems good. Good in a way that would describe anybody with 20 paragraphs of text and effects, aka every modern release over the past 4 months. She seems like a decent enough nuke given the dual phase brave effect and true damage, although I question if she can out-res modern armors to even make the brave check, cause it's asking for a lot actually. That said, her support is cool since it gives AoE damage reduction as a visible bonus, which is pretty good to have around, and resonance blades and resonance shields, which is complete filler. And speaking of filler, disabling adaptive damage, which which, you know, is kind of funny because it can check stuff like Valentine's Rhea, which is cool, but not against all the other common armors right now. Try disabling this, you idiot! She also comes with Iceberg, Crystalline Water, and a brand new B-slot in Attack Res Far Resound, which is Far Trace 4 and Resonance combined into one skill. It's not bad by any means, but it sure is skill, but new. But the real question that no one is asking, is this better than Occultist Strike? No. Kinda. I would say for the Kanto alone, it's much more useful, but as far as true damage scaling goes, it's probably weaker since it caps out at 12 versus Strike, which is 20% of the foe's stat and will most likely be higher as a result, but it also pierces damage reduction. Can you name me anybody relevant with pierceable damage reduction? That's right, you can't. Okay, how about somebody that's remotely beatable? Okay, but in all seriousness, you'll probably use this over Strike just on the Kanto alone. But counter argument, Rhea wants Shield Fighter. And other than that, that sure is Spring Veil. She seems like a good combat unit with decent support. Where have I heard that one before? Next, there's Ader, and she's a character I thought everybody forgot about. Even the devs. Definitely not a unit I ever expected to get in alt, but here we are. Let's see. Spring Ader comes with Petal Dream Horn, which has slaying, stats, true stats, even more true stats. It restores 7 HP after combat, gets all the Beast Cavalry goodies that comes with being a Beast unit, and inflicts -5 attack speed, defense, and res, guard, and bonus reversal on foes within 3 rows and columns during combat. She also comes with Nihility's Undoing, which allows her to transform much more easily, grants an additional Spectrum 8, excel for a bunch of true damage reduction and extra Spectrum stats, breath, and reduces percent base damage reduction by 50%. That sure was a lot of things that were definitely digested. She has stats that let her stat during combat, and damage reduction that lets her reduction damage during combat, and ally support that lets her support ally during combat. And she does this and that, and yeah, and that's the unit. Yeah, sure is. Now, onto the more important topic. Do you consider Ader to be the same as Freya, or more like how Lif is to Alphonse? Because if it is the former, then would this technically make Freya our first repeat unit on a seasonal theme? If I remember correctly, Ader is just younger Freya and not some alternate timeline thing, so maybe it counts. If so, congrats to Freya for being the first repeat seasonal unit ever. Although I could joke about Micaiah and Alencia both having 2 summer alts, which is technically true, technically false, but both were different themes at least. Different summer themes, but that's beside the point. I can't say I care either way, but I thought it was a funny thing worth mentioning, but let me know how you feel about that down below. She also comes with no good fodder, I mean beast fodder. Wait, I was right the first time. Nimble Beast the special, Bestial Agility the B slot, and nothing for the C slot. Man, that feels really bad. Bestial Agility has Kanto remaining +1, minimum of 2, inflicts -4 speed and defense on the foe, has 20% true damage based on speed or defense based on the higher stat, whichever it is, and speed based on follow-up. Yeah, that sure is a beast skill. I feel like we just got this exact same skill recently, but it has an exclamation point, so it has to be new. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about Bestial Assault. Kinda silly of me to mix up Bestial Assault and Bestial Agility when they both do completely different things besides the Kanto and debuffs and true damage and, I'm sorry, are these supposed to be different? And other than that, that sure is Spring Ader. She seems like a good combat unit with decent support. Where have I heard that one before? I'm not exaggerating, this is like the bare minimum every new unit does now. And then there's May, and she's from Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. This is as much of a shock to me as everyone else. We are on a roll with SOV content, and it makes me wonder if they remembered Shadows of Valentia, or if they felt really embarrassed for putting up Meissen as the only SOV rep in the new codes. It's probably the latter. Let's see. Spring May comes with Spring Air Egg Plus, which inflicts -5 attack speed, defense, res, and nullifies any breath effect on foes within 3 rows and columns during combat, and grants up to 20 true damage based on nearby foes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. May herself isn't that great given she's generic, but her weapon's actually pretty nice even as a support weapon, and worst case scenario, it's upwards of 20 true damage with a fairly easy condition. I'm just happy May got an alt, I'm gonna be real. She also comes with Glacy's Magic No Follow and Attack Speed 03, which are decent demote skills. Attack Speed 03 is nice pre-fodder for all the better skills that exist. Magic No Follow isn't that amazing these days, but it's still no follow-up and DR Shred, I guess, and we sure have a contender for the next 400 codes unit that isn't Meissen. I'm like 100% certain he's only here because we had 0 SOV units in Book 8 besides Emblem Celica. And other than that, that sure is Spring May. She seems like a good combat unit with decent support. And finally, there's Plumeria and Olivia, who are the Spring Harmonic because they have so many things in common, such as... Also, I feel like I've seen one of these designs before. Huh, let's see. Spring Plumeria comes with Springing Spear, which is a Kanto remaining lance that grants a minimum of Kanto 2 after an action, has a flat res +3 stat boost, grants Kanto 1 to allies at the start of the turn as well as stats, true damage, and a special jump of 1 during their combats, while Plumeria gets stats, true stats, even more true stats, and follow-up denial. She also comes with Dreamlike Night, which is a dance assist that allows an ally to use Kanto again during the same turn, and inflicts stat penalties, frozen, and sabotage on the closest foes and foes within 2 spaces when they dance, as well as coming with a harmonic button that grants Resonance Blades to herself and allies within the same titles, and allows Plumeria to take another action and use Kanto again during the same turn. That sure is dance, but up to par for Book 9 standards. Debuffs, frozen, sabotage during the middle of the turn, and re-enabling Kanto to an ally? Does it also re-enable my will to play this game? Get it? Cause the weapon is also really decent in support, but what if, and hear me out, we swapped it out for Johanna Lance? Okay, I know it sounds stupid, but I'm gonna entertain the idea real quick. Springing Spear gives Kanto 1 10 true damage per hit, 5 attack, defense, and res during combat, and 1 special jump, whereas Johanna gives 6 visible attack and speed, dodge, and penalty neutralization at the start of the turn. I think for most situations, you'll probably be using her PRF, but on teams that may not need most of those effects, you do technically have Johanna as an alternative option if the team calls for it. Also, the idea of a combat Plumeria is funnier with Johanna since it has damage reflection and could probably lead to situations like... Using her with Legendary Sakura also sounds horrific since it means you could go in with Celica Ring, attack a unit, and retreat to safety 2 times in 1 turn. Please don't do that. She also comes with Stronghold, Defense Res Discord, and Shadow Smite 4, which is Shadow Shift 4 but Smite 4. I like the line of shadow skills because I think they're fun. But fun is the last thing Faye wants you to have. Here's baby Valentine's Rhea. She's 10 times as strong as Valentine's Rhea. Have fun. And other than that, that sure is Spring Plumeria. If you're looking for a good dancer, then you've come to the wrong place. Because she's better than good. You see, the joke... We also got the free stuff, and who doesn't like free stuff? Our freebie unit this time around is Spring Lonku, and he's bad. Yeah, but hey, they gave Lonku an alt finally, which is super awesome. He has the same weapon as Spring May, but it's an axe, which isn't bad whatsoever. Lonku also comes with Luna, Life and Death, and Spurn, which is bad whatsoever. You see, the joke is that it's the opposite. Spurn would have been cool like 4 years ago. I dread the day we get Lagu's Friend 3 on a Tempest Trial unit, and it's the same reaction as this. We also got some brand new seals, and who doesn't like seals? We got Attack Speed Finish, which is a fantastic seal, as well as Defense Res Oath, which is...
That's okay. You can keep it.
One good seal is nice enough, at least. And that sure is all the free stuff we're getting this time around. I don't have much else to say. And now that we've gone over the brand new spring units, I think it's time we rank the banner on the line graph that may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day. And would you look at that? The brand new spring banner has earned a 2 out of 10 on the line graph. If you could believe it, there were actually 2 rabbits in the trailer next to Olivia. There's a good chance I missed some others, but I'm not going to keep looking, so... Oh well, maybe next time, Faye. And you may be wondering to yourself, does this banner suck? Do you really want me to answer that? Yes. Plumeria is pretty good, but I don't think you'll be missing out on much if you don't summon for a copy. Or maybe you will. I've definitely had my fair share of just kidding, I just lied moments as of late. Veil isn't too shabby either, but similarly, you won't be missing out on much of anything if you don't go for her. Yeah, Ada exists too, I guess. Is it bad that I look at units like these and think they're not good enough despite having the minimum ward requirement on one of my overdue assignments in each of their kits? Has Faye rotted my brain that much? Let me know down below by dropping a Riz-like comment and hitting 5 big booms on that subscribe button. A Hero Rises is also soon, and Legendary Sakura is currently on a banner, and Raining is arguably the dumbest unit we've had released in a hot minute. But you could say that about any modern release. She is different. I promise you she is different. Anyway, Spring is a skip unless you like the units. The end.